Good afternoon all, and what a beautiful day it is today. So my plan today is to fit some cables on so I'll be able to tell when my spotlights are on or off. Obviously people say, well, you can tell in the dark when it shines on cars, and if you get close to a car you can tell, but I don't like getting close to cars. You shouldn't really be getting close to cars to see if your lights work anyway. And I think that this little modification is absolutely brilliant. So this is my bike, and I'll take you through what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, so on the Zontes, not every bike has these, what I've noticed. Just by the side of your footprint you have the connection bars here. Mine has the holes on each side, but a lot of the bikes don't actually have that. They're solid, which is quite interesting. And the good thing that I've already got the holes there is I don't need to drill anything out. Parts wise, okay, so my favorite people of all time, we have Amazon. Both packages actually from Amazon. So in packet number one we have some dome washers. I got a pack of 4 because that's the only ones that they came in. These ones weren't shipped by Amazon. These were a private seller because they are a 20mm diameter. I did try smaller ones, but they just fall through the hole. So the 20mm sits on there rather nicely. It's just going to fall off at the moment, but that will be glued on in place. Okay. I think they're about £4, including your deliveries, but I'll have all the information on that later on. We have our serious glue. This was the most expensive one, I think. This was about £6.99. But once you've got it, haven't you? Waterproof as well, heat, so that's all good. And a Toslin cable. Now this one was only £3.99, but I'll show you the reason why I picked this particular cable. Okay, so this is only a 1 meter long cable, which is pretty long enough for what we are going to be doing today. And the reason why I picked this cable is because of these cap connectors here. I'll see if I can hold my phone. I don't have a stand, unfortunately, but I'll try and use my knees. So the nice thing with this one here is that these plugs are really long and they sit quite nicely inside. So technically that's waterproofing for the cable itself. So this side of the cable I'm going to fit to a dome, and that's going to go by the footplate. The other side I will cut the other side and bend it around the light. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one now, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the black base there, and then I'm going to fit the dome on top. The nice thing with these domes, it does actually fit quite well with a good push, so you're going to have a good seal there. Again, I'm going to leave that cap on because that's a nice little waterproofing as it's facing up to the air from the bike. Okay, so just a little bit of glue around. Doesn't need a huge amount. That should be enough there. Always forget to put the lid on, so I'll put the lid back on. So just a little bit of glue around there. Now we're gonna fit the dome on top. Now I don't have a tripod, unfortunately, so I am gonna have to put the camera, just put it down, but it just needs a little bit of work to put it on. I've now got the dome on. I've got a nice waterproof seal with the glue around the base. And as I said, I left the cap in. I put a tiny bit of glue on it. So now I have, goodness me, really good waterproof over the top there to stop any water running down to the fog light. You don't have to do it, but I just thought that was a nice little touch to it. But I'm going to leave that connected on the bike. You can't see it anyway, so that's fine. But as I said, the other end we're just going to we're going to cut that off when it's ready to. Right, okay, so he's quite hard now. I'm happy now to put this onto the bike. So I'm just going to put some more glue now around the base of the rubber there, and then we'll feed it through the bike. Okay, so I got a good layer of glue there ready for it to seat onto the metal there. So I'm now going to feed the one end through. So I'm just going to put him in, pull the cable down. I'm holding the other bit in my mouth, I don't have a tripod, so okay, so now just drop him down. There he is. And then I'm just going to pull him through gently. I'm just going to give him a little wobble so I can get all that glue to disperse around the sides there. Look, that's cool. And I'm just going to hold him there now for a few minutes just for it to semi-set. While he's set in there, you can see I got a little bit of glue there, but that's fine. That's just going to create another seal. I'll show you what it looks like underneath. There you are. So it's not sticking out too bad, and even from the side of the bike you can't really see it. I'll just push down. I'm going to use our cable clip. I'm going to bend him over there and follow him through, and I'm just going to follow him all the way up with the other one. But this time I'm going to drop around the back side of the light here. There's a nice little groove there, I don't know if you can see it, which the cable is going to sit on quite nicely. The cable is through. What I've decided to help, because it takes a while for the glue to set. The glue that we are using is movable for up to 3 minutes, and then it starts setting. Fully set in 2 hours, strongest at 24 hours. So what I've done, I've just ran a zip tie just through there over the top of the rubber, and that's now pushing that down into the metal there. So I can now carry on with whatever I need to do while I wait. I'm not going to give it 2 hours, I'll give it about an hour, just to get a good bond there, and I'll see if the cable is flexible enough to start moving on. But yeah, nice little idea there. It means free our hands up. Okay, so he's now set quite good. If I give him a little wiggle underneath, there's no movement there at all. So that's really nice. And there's the cable there. And what I've done now, I've got him in the straps there. Put him in the strap there. And now I've got all this cable left, so I'm going to be cutting that a second. So, as I said with the cable, cable's actually going to go around, and I'm going to put it into this cut off here. So he's going to bend around that way and into that groove, and then we're going to bend him into the light. Well, that's the plan anyway. Just to see how much I need, I'm just going to cable tie him on just for now. So I got the first cable tie on. He's held on quite nicely in place. I haven't cut the cable yet, but what I did do, I did just heat it up just to see what temperature I'm going to need, just to do that slight little bend there. That was with a heat gun, and it was about 200 degrees or so, not for very long. It comes nice, really soft and supple, and then you can just bend it into place. I'm going to do a test cut first down there with my snippers, just to see how good the cut is, because if my snippers are no good, I'm going to see if I got something sharper to do. But now I know exactly where my bend is going to be needed, which is going to be there. So I'm going to do that next. I got a nice clean cut of my snippers, so I'm quite happy with that. What I did do before I started doing my bend, I took it back out of the rubber straps, because obviously you don't want to be heating that up right next to the bike. So that gave me enough room to bring the cable totally down way. So I've softened it up now. I've got the bend in. He's cooling down now, so he's going to start strengthening back up. I'm now going to put the rubbers back on, and then we'll look into getting it cut, and I want to try and get him right into that corner there as much as I can. So instead of just the one bend, I've decided to put two in, so it fits nicely around, And what I've also done as well, I've cut my cable angled, so when it goes in, it actually sits in the shape of the light, so it's angling in, and that's touching the light quite nice. I'm not going to glue it or anything onto the light, of course, but I'm just going to put the cable ties onto it now. I don't think I really want to be gluing onto that. I'm happy with cable ties. So we're all finished here now. He's looking really nice and flush against the light there, so that's good. I do have a cable tie showing, but I'm happy with the cable ties. You don't have to use cable ties. You can super glue it down that channel there if you wanted to. The only one thing you do need to make sure of is that you do have enough slack in your cables. I've got a slight bend there, but I'm happy with the slack I've got. And do you know what? They're very cheap to replace if you ever need to redo it. Okay, it cost me a little bit more than what I thought initially buying everything, but I think the glue was the most expensive, about £7 for the glue. But it'll last, put it away, and it's fine. So if you've already got it, then you don't have to pay the £7, so it's even cheaper for you. I'll put links on where I've bought and what I've bought. I bought about 7 different cables in the end, and the one that I'm fitting was the best. It was more supple to use, not as thick. I had some that were really thin, ridiculously thin, so this was the best one.